Hi, I'm Kelly Gonzalez with kellygonzalez.com, helping you to be the spark, make a positive change in your life through a mind, body, and spirit connection. And today we're focusing on restorative movement and overall feeling good. So oftentimes I hear people say, I have to stretch. Yes, flexibility is extremely important and you do need to stretch. But sometimes you cannot only just stretch. You must first work with self-myofascial release, and that's what we're going to be covering today. So I'd like you to imagine a rubber band, and when you tie a knot in a band and then you stretch the band, pulling on both ends, what happens to that knot? It gets tighter. Well, the same thing happens with your connective tissue. So we have something called fascia, which encases all of our muscles. And when that fascia gets a knot in it, anywhere, it disrupts the whole entire chain. And we can get trigger points where you may feel that pain radiating somewhere else, and it limits your range of motion for your joints, your performance. It can cause aches and pains and frequent trips to the massage therapist, which is not inexpensive. So one of the best things that you can do is learn how to perform self-myofascial release, which is a self-massage technique. So for this movement, you will need a foam roller. Now, I recommend Trigger Point. This is my favorite roller. It's great for travel. It's small, compact. I also like it because it does not lose its structure. So you may see like the foam rollers that are actually made of styrofoam. After a while, due to the compression, they lose their integrity. Where this is actually like a PVC pipe in here, and then it's a little bit soft around here, so it's not too intense. You will also need basic tools that you can find at your sporting goods store, such as a softball. So a softball is fantastic for various areas like the glutes. I even get into my psoas, my hip flexors with it. And then another tool, a lacrosse ball. So I grew up playing lacrosse back in Maryland, played D1, but I wish I knew about using the ball for myofascial release back then. Could have used it. And finally, if you have a strap or a jump rope, a towel is great too. Something that you can work on flexibility. So my method for restorative movement is 1, we release. So we release the knots, release the tension. 2, we elongate. We send that muscle back to its normal length through flexibility and stretching. And then finally, we work on activation, which is neurologically telling the muscles, okay, you've been knotted up for a while. Now I'm going to remind you how you're supposed to function so that you can stabilize my joints and help me move with ease. So starting off, we're going to get into the feet first. And for the feet, I like to use the lacrosse ball. So you can do this standing, but for the sake of showing you here, because of the camera angle, I'm going to sit down. And so you're going to just take a seat. You're going to take your foot, place it on the lacrosse ball, and just roll back and forth. Now, our hands and our feet have so many nerve endings. That's how we perceive the world. So we have our proprioceptors, and they help with alignment and balance, and overall gait, movement. So we want to make sure that the feet are nice and loose. And you may feel some knots in there. When you feel something that's a little bit uncomfortable, just hold it there. Now you can get up around, you may have heard of reflexology. So around, let's say your big toe is the meridian in traditional Chinese medicine for kidney 1. And it's really interesting. So you can check that out. Google reflexology, and you can find all the little points on your feet. And give yourself a little foot massage, maybe. So getting into the feet, you're going to spend however long you need to here. You roughly want to spend about 2 to 5 minutes on each body part. But for the sake of time, I'm going to keep it moving. So feet, start from the ground up. Then I'm going to use my roller and get into the calves. So for the calves, something I like to do is add a little more pressure. I place one foot on, and then I cross the other leg over top. And if I want to apply more pressure, I'm just going to lift my body weight up. And I'm going to use my hands to help me glide up and down this calf. Going from the base all the way up to the back of the calf. But you want to make sure you don't want to go right behind the knee. Okay, it's a very sensitive area and we don't want to cause hyperextension. So you just want to go just right up to that meaty part and then right back down. And something I like to do is you can like windshield wiper, go side to side, really get in there. Imagine that you're like scrubbing it clean, getting those knots. Really just released, getting the muscle back to its normal length. All right, and you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So the feet and then the calves. Once you've done the release, then we wanna add the stretch. So a stretch that I really like is to come into a downward facing dog. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place your hands shoulder distance apart, your knees start on the ground, tuck your toes, and then lift your hips, press back, and then keep a bend in the knee to begin with. Draw the belly button in, and then slowly just lower your chest towards your thighs. And then one at a time, begin to pedal out your feet. And then hold one heel up, one down, hold for about 30 seconds. Breathe. Remember that breathing is going to help release that tension from your body. So it's extremely important. That is our vital tool. So now we've done the feet and the calves, we're going to go up and we're going to do hamstrings. So same thing here. I like to use a roller for hamstrings. Similar motion to the calves. You're going to come on top and then use your hands like gliders here to help you roll down and roll back up. Now, a lot of times the knots come in at the attachment points. So the hamstrings attach right into that connection where the glutes and the hamstrings meet. So what I like to do is really single it out. I come on one side and then just lift this leg up a little bit higher and then just go within like a 2-inch radius, back and forth, back and forth. And then you can do a little internal and external motion with the foot. So internal, external, internal, external. So that way the femur is moving and you're getting a broader surface area through that hamstring. Okay? And then we can flip over and just do the IT bands here. Now, the IT bands are this fibrous band that run from your hip down to your knee. They help with squatting, walking, running, biking, and they don't get a lot of love. They don't get a lot of blood flow. So they can get very stiff, and it's easy to get scar tissue built up along that band. And we want to keep it free of that. So you're going to stack your feet, come into a side plank position, and then go right above the knee along your outer thigh, and then slowly roll down. It's not comfortable, so you want to think like yoga. You just want to breathe through it. The more you can breathe and the more relaxed you can stay, the more effective this method will be. So it's not easy, but you know, fitness is a lot like life, and when you come up against something that's a little bit uncomfortable, you just breathe right through it. And smile through it. Maybe laugh. Okay. That's painful. Okay. In a good way. Because we know that we never want to sacrifice the short-term reward of just ignoring this for the long-term benefit. So releasing this is going to give you so much more joy through your movement and your freedom in your body. So it's worth it for, you know, half a second, you're just on it. And it's okay. So it makes you stronger in the end. Okay, then after you do the IT band, we're going to flip over and we're going to get to the quadriceps. So you're going to roll from knee all the way up to your thighs. You're going to go back and forth. And once again, I like to scrub it out. I like to go with a little bit of side-to-side motion. And then come all the way up to the top of your TFL. So that's going to be right here, right where your quads begin to meet at the hip flexors. And you're going to come on the one side, And then lift one leg up, so bend it to a 90-degree angle, and then windshield wiper that leg back and forth, and you can really feel this. Remember to breathe. Yay. All right. So TFL. And then another one is getting into the adductors. So that's going to be your inner thighs. Something I like to do here is come up to a kneeling position. Place the roller right on the inside of the inner thigh, right by the knee. Okay, place your hands down, come to all fours. Slide one leg back and slowly begin to roll along the inner thigh. All the way up as far as you can, holding where you feel a spot of discomfort. Just hold and breathe. You want to apply a little more pressure. You can lower down to the elbows. Okay. All right. So once you've done that on both sides, then you're going to grab your strap, and then we're going to stretch it out. So take your strap. You're going to place it right at the ball of your foot. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, the arch of your foot. You're going to lie back, and we're going to get into the hamstrings. So the key here is try to get your leg up. You want to go to a 90-degree angle, but if you're only here, that's fine. And you can keep a little bit of bend in the knee. Wherever you are, that is totally perfect. Take a big inhale. Press into that strap or that band. And then with your exhale, try to straighten out the leg and release. Gently begin to pull that leg back towards you, a little bit closer. And then take an inhale, press it away, press. You want to activate that hamstring. And then exhale, allow it to release. We get a little bit more range of motion, a little bit more flexibility. And then from here, let's go ahead, just like we rolled out the IT bands, you can extend the opposite leg, cactus the other arm, and then bring that foot across the body. So the goal is not trying to get the hip off the ground and see how far you can kick your leg over. Actually, you want to keep the hips square. Try to keep your shoulders and your hips plugged into the floor and then get that stretch. So the opposite hand is gently bringing that leg over, keeping the leg straight, maybe a little bit of a slight bend in the knee. And then you want to press up into that strap. Press up, and then exhale. Get a little bit more range of motion. Once again, press up, and then let it go. Coming back to the center, we're just going to open up the adductors. So if you have any low back pain, bend the other knee. So bend it to a 90-degree angle. And then draw your belly button in and try to keep your spine flat on the ground. For this one, it's going to be same leg, same arm. You're going to let the leg go out to the side, let gravity take it. And you want to think about spinning the inner thigh up and over. So we're really getting deep into the groin. And then breathe here. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, bend your knee. Go ahead and release that strap. Okay, so that's going to be getting into the legs. Next up, we're going to work our way up the body. So we're going to go into glutes. Now, your gluteus maximus is actually the biggest muscle in your body. It's extremely powerful. And it has a big surface area. So it can get a lot of knots in there. So we want to work that out. So to get started, let's go ahead and just take a seat on your roller. You're going to place one hand behind you, bend your knees to begin with. Then lift one leg, cross the ankle over the thigh, and then lean a little bit sideways and roll out right along that crease. It's like where the glutes attach all along the hip, back and forth. Belly button drawn in tight, and you can roll a little bit up, right to the very top of the glutes. Right on top of that sits your piriformis, and that can get extremely tight. Okay, so it's like, searching for gold, right? All right, how can we create space and release that tension? When you find a knot, just hold it there. Breathe into it. And know that you're doing something really, really wonderful for yourself. So you want to do this on both sides. And if you want to go a little bit more intense, add another level to it, you can use your softball for your glutes. Now this is my favorite. It's really fantastic. Before I do squats, before I do yoga, I do this for my glutes, my piriformis. It just really helps release everything and lets me have a much better practice. So you want to come onto the softball, and you want to do the same thing you're doing on the roller. But now you have a little bit more pressure. You can go in a little bit deeper. And what I like to do is think about tracing the glute. So up at the top, and we trace all the way around. And then we get a little bit closer to the inside. All right. Now you really want to spend some time here on the glutes. Because if we're not, if we go into like a squatting position, we go into, deadlift, something like that, and your glutes are very tight, it can affect the position of your knees. It can affect your shoulders, cause neck pain. So any complication in one area of your body can cause complications in other areas. It will travel if you don't stop it. Okay, so get into the glutes, both sides. And a really good stretch for this one is going to be a reclining pigeon pose. So here what we're going to do is lie back, lift the leg, cross your ankle over your opposite thigh, flex your foot. This protects your knee. Take an inhale, grab a hold of the opposite thigh, and then exhale. Bring that thigh in towards you. And you can use your elbow to help press this knee away. So you're creating a little bit of torque. And that's going to help the muscles release. It's going to give you a deeper stretch. Okay. Another one I like to do right after this is release here. And then extend the leg, look one direction, look to my left hand as I have the left knee in, and then I draw the left knee over to the right for a twist. This one feels really amazing. You may get some clicks, some pops, totally normal. Okay, it's just releasing a little bit of air with your spine, coming back into alignment. Areas where you were stuck are starting to open up. They're like, oh, thank God I can breathe again. Okay. And slowly lower that leg back down. All right. So, legs should be feeling nice and loose. Now we're going to work our way up. So we're going to get into the mid-back, the thoracic spine. Now, the thoracic spine can cause a lot of problems if we don't take care of it. Because we need a lot of mobility, and we need a lot of stability at the same time through our spine. So if the thoracic spine is not mobile, then we can't be stable at the lumbar. And then we get some hip trouble and things like that. So I guess you get my point. It's important to take care of the thoracic spine. You're going to cross your hands over your chest. And then start down right about like 6 inches from your tailbone, right in your mid-back. You're going to take an inhale, and with your exhale, just hinge back. Keep the chin tucked in towards the chest, protect the neck. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, and then scoot a little bit further up that roller, and then lean back. Just check in and see if you're a little bit tighter, up higher. Then you're going to extend your arms over your head. You're going to come down right between your shoulder blades. Lift the hips up, and then you're going to move just about 3 inches up and down. Now, it's really important when you're releasing is to get a little bit of motion through those joints. So with my arms, I'm going to add a little bit of internal and external rotation, taking them through their range of motion, maybe big circles, helping to release all along the shoulder girdle. Okay. And then I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to get into my lat. So about 1 inch right below the armpit, right into this teres major, and then the lat. So these big angel wings right here on your back. And I'm going to add a little bit of motion. Woo. All right, we can get very tight in here. So you're going to circle up a few times each direction. Then we're just going to keep it rolling through, come into the triceps, so you can bend the elbow to a 90-degree angle. Roll from the armpit all the way to the elbow. And then here I like to do a little bit of rotation, side to side, as I move up and down. You can really feel how the arms can get overworked. And this can limit the range of motion through the elbow. So if we're loose, mobile in this range of motion, that's a great thing. Okay, keeping this 90-degree bend in the elbow, just bring your shoulder down. Okay, so now the shoulder is going to be right on that roller. And now I like to scrub this. Okay, so you're going to scrub back and forth, get all along the attachment sites around the shoulder. Yes, that feels good. All right, geez, lots of little knots in there. Then we're going to get into the bicep. So for this one, you come down flat on the ground, so in a prone position, and come a little bit closer, go right above the elbow, all the way up on the bicep. Okay. And then forearms. Now forearms are a little tricky. All right, we want to apply pressure just by coming onto the knees, and you can lift your hips up a little bit and apply pressure as we roll from the wrist all the way down to the elbow. Okay. And then you can move through the hands a little bit, you can add some circles, just checking in and seeing what is going on there. Okay, so once you have rolled out through the lats, the shoulders, once again we want to stretch. So grabbing your band or your strap, take an inhale, you're going to lift up, and then with your exhale, bring it back behind you. Woo. Bring it up. Up and down. Okay. Just begin to open up and then get into the lats a little bit. So take it to one side, side stretch, over to the other side, keeping the wrist locked, back to center. All right, so that is going to be your restorative movement. I highly recommend doing this at least 3 times a week if you can. Even just 5-10 minutes here and there on a body part that you need it, that is extremely effective. You can do it when you're watching a movie or an educational documentary. It's a great way to just feel good and free in your body, and it's going to help your overall performance. So I'm Kelly Gonzalez with kellygonzalez.com, and I will see you next time. Bye.